Hi everybody, my name is Jenny Soderstrom, and for my instructional strategy, I chose visual supports. And the article review that I'm going to be talking about today is called Evidence for the Effectiveness of Visual Supports in Helping Children with Disabilities Access the Mainstream Primary School Curriculum. And I found this article very interesting and helpful. For one, it is based on a little older of students, so not the early childhood level, but because of the visuals that they provided, it would be very easy to implement that in your own classroom. So basically, this article was based in New Zealand, and it was brought in because they wanted to bring supports at school as well as at home to ensure and to achieve that students would be able to come to school and they would be calm and ready to learn. They wanted to enhance the children's abilities to engage with activities rather than providing the visuals that taught the curriculum. And I feel like that's the main point of using the visuals. So, and I think it says down here, I know this is so much to read, but it was containing 23 students ages 5 to 10 in 22 different schools across the Christchurch area in New Zealand. I'm not sure how to say that. But they started with doing a PIP, which is a parent interview protocol, and that covered questions that they talked with the parents about how their performance was at school, their diet, sleep patterns, past services that they might have used, current concerns that they would have, and things that they would thought that would be helpful for them to know. And they also interviewed the teachers, which was called the teacher interview protocol, but this one was much shorter. And that basically wanted to know how the students learn. What extra support do they need in the classroom in order to be successful? So when they took the visuals, they found that giving visuals in 3 different areas helped the students. So they had daily schedules for some of them. Some of the students had an entire sheet where they took off. If they did table work, then they would take the table work off. If they had snack time, then they would take the snack piece off. They had their whole schedule lined up for them, and they would take off as they go to be able to know what was happening throughout the day. Some students were able just to do it by a visual schedule that was placed in a central location in the room. So if they had concerns or anything like that, they were able just to reference that. They found that the students that they were bringing in to conduct this, that they were students who needed, how do I say this? They needed the support, but they didn't qualify for support as with a paraprofessional or an assistant in the classroom. But they were qualified as high-risk students. So they were poor performance in areas of memory, motor, processing, self-regulation, and attention. And they took those students and they were able to give them schedules into their day-to-day, and they brought it with the home, and they found out that it reduced students' anxiety, frustration. They were able to know the routines of their day. They were more involved with at home and at school, and they also followed the routines. They were more independent in the classroom. So by bringing in these visuals, they were able to say, I think it's down here, but 21 out of the 23 students that they conducted, they agree that the visuals are very helpful for them. One of the students stated that they thought they were pretty cool. He was able to understand at home by implementing it with the visuals on his dresser that he knew where his clothes went. He knew what he had to put on first. And some of them, when they were doing art, an example was they had all the schedules lined up for them, so they were to sequence the events in order and where to put them. All the families who had the children participating in the project were asked if they were willing to take part in a second evaluation. And as you can see, 20 of the families did that as well. And they were just able to tell the results that they had the positive impact. They were setting goals for the students based on the needs that they needed for those supports. Their main goal was to predict and follow through on daily living routines and activities independently. So basically, this article was a great one, describing like why teachers and parents and students believe that visual supports are important in the classroom, as well as integrating them in their home life as well. If you're able to do that, it was saying that you're getting that consistency. It's easier for the students to follow what is expected at in school if it's the same way at home. If they need help completing, you can use, it was saying that you can implement the visuals on your daily routines as well as at home. So I really suggest reading this about visual supports if you have any concerns or questions about exactly what they are. And as you can see here, as one parent put it, is still successful. Yes, it is paying off. I really do feel like it benefited him for the long term, and now we probably can. Even if we come across certain obstacles, we could probably look at doing something ourselves visually to help him along the way as he gets older from home. So it's just a great way for those students that are struggling to be able to implement some type of visual into their day so they're able to follow along with those routines, and especially with transitioning. And I think about the little ones that we are working with, those transitions are difficult for them. So if we're able to incorporate visuals like the article is saying, I think we can help make the students more successful.